Hey guys, it's Green Mom Zoe, or you also may know me as Chef Zoe on my YouTube videos. Today I'm bringing another episode of the Chef Zoe's Raw Food Basics, but unlike other times, today I'm not making any recipes, and as you can see I'm dressed casually, so I will be talking about something different, and the topic is the 4 essential pieces of equipment you need for a healthy kitchen. This is not just for raw food preparation, this is just for healthy food preparation in general. So anybody who is watching this video, definitely stay tuned and check it out, because you'll learn a lot of good information that you can research later and see if it's something that you want to incorporate in your life. So I'm going to be talking today about my Omega juicer, Vitamix blender, Cuisinart food processor, and my Excalibur Dehydrator. I'm gonna take you through every single piece of equipment. I'll explain why is it beneficial, what are the advantages over other brands or other similar products on the market. So stay tuned and check us out. Now, the first piece of equipment I would like to address is the most essential piece of equipment in your kitchen. This would be the Vitamix blender. This is the 5200 series, and mine is called Super 5200 series because it also comes with a dry container. So not only do you get the 64-ounce tall wet container, but you also get the 32-ounce smaller dry container. What is the difference between the two is basically the wet container is for anything that is liquid based, so smoothies, dressings, ice cream, dips, soups, and things of that sort. Now the dry container is for grinding nuts, seeds, and grains into flour, so you can make your own fresh flour at home, which is kind of like a coffee mill, but it's on a bigger scale, so you can do much greater volume. What I like about the Vitamix versus any other blenders out there, because I do have people who say, hey, do I really need a Vitamix to start making smoothies or to start eating healthy? Obviously no, you can use any blender to make smoothies or to make cocktail beverages or just minimal tasks like blending things up. But the difference between a Vitamix and, let's say, a regular blender, I would compare it as if you're comparing two cars. One of them is a Kia, one of them is a Mercedes-Benz. Both of them would get you from point A to point B, but as far as quality, engine performance, features, longevity of the car, there's just no comparison between Kia and Mercedes-Benz. They say you get what you pay for, so I truly believe that even though the Vitamix is more expensive than a traditional blender, the things that it does are absolutely uncomparable. I mean, with the Vitamix, one feature that it has, the motor is so powerful that it breaks the cell walls of foods. So what that essentially means is that the food nutrients become released and easily absorbed by your body cells. Your body doesn't have to go through extra digestion processes to break something down. It's already halfway broken down through the Vitamix. And also you would be able to make very delicious emulsified beverages or mousses or ice cream, nut milks, things that are usually not as well blended or emulsified with a regular blender. So in that sense, the Vitamix is absolutely essential. The second piece of equipment that I absolutely recommend for healthy kitchen preparation would be the Cuisinart food processor. Mine here is an 11-cup food processor, so this is a larger one. It's not the largest. I think the largest one is about 14 cups, so this is kind of in the middle range, and I recommend this one over the KitchenAid, because just looking, when I was doing my research, looking from people's feedback and performance and just from other chefs, everyone recommends the Cuisinart brand over any other food processor. So that's the one I also would recommend for you. What is the difference, let's say, between a food processor and a Vitamix blender? I had customers who ask hey, can I just use one without the other? Well, not necessarily, because what a food processor can do, a Vitamix cannot do, and vice versa. For example, if you're trying to create any kind of a dish that has more texture, more chunkiness, Vitamix can do some of that, but not very well, because Vitamix, first of all, needs some kind of liquid for the blades to be spinning. So if you're making like a nut butter, or you're making some kind of like a drier food preparation, then the blades are going to keep spinning and they're going to overheat without, you know, breaking down the texture of the food to the consistency that you like. Whereas with the Cuisinart, I mean, you have a bigger bowl, bigger base, you don't need any liquid. If you're making nut and seed bars, or if you're breaking down some kind of like, you know, grains to make either flatbreads or crackers, or nut and seed bars, as I said, if you're making salsa, you need a food processor, because you would not be able to achieve the desired consistency in a Vitamix. And also, if you're going to be chopping a lot of fresh produce, you can definitely do it by hand, but it's going to take you quite a bit of a time. Whereas you can just toss things right into your Cuisinart food processor and just pulse it a few times, and it's all done for you. I mean, it saves you tons of time on chopping and cutting things up. So I definitely recommend to have it in any kitchen out there in the world. I mean, it's very, very useful piece of equipment. The third piece of equipment I would like to show you is my Omega VR3 330 juicer. This is one of the best juicers on the market today. For one reason, this particular juicer is one of the first vertical masticating juicers. I mean, juicers fall into two categories to begin with. One is the masticating, one is the centrifugal juicer. So most of the juicers you've seen and probably own might be the Jack LaLanne type or the Breville, which are centrifugal juicers. They use a very strong force to shred things up and to juice them, which really oxidizes your produce and makes the ingredients less potent, because a lot of them die in the heat of the blade. And also, when you're juicing green leafy vegetables, the centrifugal juicers are just not as good in extracting the juices. So with the Omega VR 330, you don't have that problem, because the way it works, it has this large auger inside, which is almost like 4 times the size of the regular augers in masticating juicers, which are usually vertical. They go like this, whereas this one goes like that. It's vertical versus horizontal, so it's more natural for the produce to be fed through the tube, which is much larger, as you can see, than the regular masticating juicers. And when you're juicing the produce, everything is like squeezed out of the produce. I mean, you end up with such a little pulp. So every time you're squeezing a juice, it actually guarantees the freshness of the nutrients for up to 72 hours. That is 3 full days of freshly squeezed juice. It's much more than any other juicer out there. So you're actually not wasting your money on the produce. You're not wasting time making juice every day. You can literally make it once every 3 days and have absolutely fresh, delicious juice. So this particular juicer is the one I've been using for the last 1.5 years. I love it. It's easy to clean. It comes with 10 years of warranty. You know, the company is Omega. They're very well known in the business. So I highly, highly recommend this juicer over any other juicer on the market. It's really exceptional. The fourth piece of essential equipment for a healthy kitchen is a dehydrator. And right here, I have my dehydrator stand. I actually have 2 dehydrators. Let me just put the lid on this one. This is the Excalibur Food Dehydrator. It's absolutely the best dehydrator on the market for household use. It is made by Excalibur, well-known name, and the way this looks, it looks almost the size of a microwave, and inside of it, if you can see, there is a motor with a fan, and this fan, when you turn it on, which I'll do right now, so maybe you'll be able to see, it blows air horizontally through these sheets. As you can see, these are the trays. The regular tray has just a mesh sheet, and then you can also have the option of putting this Paraflex liners, which are for things such as, you know, making more fruit leathers or crackers, things that are runny and would seep through the regular mesh. So you definitely need those liners. The temperature on the dehydrator, which is located right here, I don't know how well you can see, it goes from about 95 degrees to about 150 degrees. The most recommended temperature for you to use would be 115, because that's the temperature where living nutrients usually start dying. So in order to preserve the vitamins and minerals of your foods, you don't really want to increase the temperature above 115 degrees Fahrenheit. But the benefits of having a dehydrator are you can make things that taste as close to cooked food as possible without killing any nutrients. You can make crackers, flatbreads, burgers. You can dehydrate vegetables and preserve them for later use. You can make fruit leathers. You can make pancakes. You can make so many various dishes in there that normally have to use either an oven or a stove or a grill or some other type of heating equipment. So this can actually take care of that and give you one of the healthiest foods. Now the time of preparing the food would be longer than heating in the traditional oven, because it takes like about, I would say, 24 to 48 hours to dry crackers or granola or things that have more crunch to them. But it's worthwhile. You can technically start this before you go to bed, and then the next day for dinner you would have your crackers or chips or something else ready for consumption. Or sometimes the period is even shorter. I mean, not everything needs to be crispy hard. There's some recipes such as like if you're making cookies or macaroons that only take about 6 hours to dry. So that's all you would need. But it's really great piece of equipment to have. It's definitely essential if you are targeting a high raw diet where you're going to be eating mostly raw foods, and eventually just using your blender or food processor or juicer might not offer as a wide variety of dishes as having the dehydrator. So dehydrators are essential. I mean, whether you're pursuing raw food diet or if you're just looking to include more healthy foods, it's definitely a great addition to your kitchen. Now that you've heard about all the different benefits and purposes of these 4 pieces of essential equipment, I want to talk to you about budget, because some people have the goal to eat well, but they have a very limited budget, so they have to focus on what is most essential. So when a customer comes to me and they say, "Hey Zoe, what is the first thing I should get? I can't get all 4 of them," I would tell them, go with the Vitamix blender #1. This should be your #1 health equipment in any kitchen. But just the variety of recipes, the healthfulness of the recipes, the taste, the deliciousness, the freshness is unsurpassable. There's no other piece of equipment that can replace a Vitamix. So your Vitamix will be the cornerstone of your healthy kitchen. So go ahead, invest your money the first time you have opportunity in the Vitamix. And then the second one, should be the food processor. Any kitchen needs a food processor, whether you even don't like eating raw foods. Maybe you just like old cooked foods. But it's essential to get one because it saves you time on chopping, on preparing things, and it just creates more texture in your food preparation. And then the juicer, I would say would be the third one to get, just because juicing is so essential to our health. And fresh juices are very difficult to locate sometimes, unless you're living to a juice bar. Next to a juice bar, most of the time you're not going to have access. Most juices on the market are pasteurized, and that means that all the living nutrients are killed, so that is no good. And then the dehydrator, I would say, should be like probably one of the later additions to your kitchen. You don't need to start a raw food diet with a dehydrator right away. You can definitely wait on it, but eventually it's really fun to get it and to start creating more cook-like recipes. The last thing I want to add is that if you're interested in any of these pieces of equipment, you are welcome to contact me. I'm a distributor for the Vitamix, for the Omega Juicers, for the Excalibur Dehydrators. I have access to certain prices and packages and discounts that might be very helpful to you. And also, if you just want to call me or email me and chat about what are the options, you know, if you have additional questions following this video, you're welcome to contact me. My work email is zoe@robundant.com, and it's right below. Just look it down. It's in my video summary as well. You can also go to my blog, which is zoevblog.com. This video information will be posted on there. And you can also visit my product website, which is robundant.com. And I sell specialty equipment. I have my own line of raw vegan foods. I sell ingredients for the recipes. There's just so many things that I do. So you're welcome to contact me. I will be happy to help you any way I can. And don't forget also to join my Facebook support group, which is Chef Zoe Raw Food Basics. Just look me up on Facebook. And this way you can get more tips and more advice on healthy preparation, raw food diet, vegan, plant-based foods, and all this good stuff. It's all going to be on there. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for all your support. And I wish everybody tons of wealth, health, happiness, and love. Peace.